Okay, people. So now it is, what is it? Oh my God. Already, so fast, and time is ticking. January 5th? Like, what happened to 2 days? I lost them. At 2025. It is 9:38 p.m., and as you can tell by my voice, I'm kinda tired. However, I asked Andre to stay quiet because I said, I need to do something that is important, people. That is important. Because I have the evidence to prove how important it is. Okay? If I didn't have the evidence, I wouldn't do it. Basically, because then what would be the point, right? But when you have the evidence and it's in your lap, in your hands, in your book, somewhere within your belongings, right? You know what I'm saying? You know, that kind of becomes, I don't want to say it's a cross to carry, you know, or to bear or whatever. You know, it's not that it's an obligation, but it's a you know, like a duty of right, if there is such a thing, a duty of right. You know, like when you go to court, right, and they say to make a wrong right. Those are court words. To make a wrong right. Well, when you're holding the bag, and you've got the proof, like I'm going to show you right now, then it becomes a duty of right. YouTube can shadow ban all they want, but sooner or later, people are going to catch a clue. Now, I thought I'd start with this because this is the evidence that Project Bluebeam has been through my yard at least once. But I have other videos where the same color hue is in the background as is with this one, per se. But I didn't happen to catch the anomaly with that one because my camera was pointing in a different direction. Whereas I caught the anomaly through the Project Bluebeam, assuming that's what we're looking at here, which is highly probable, right? Under the blue beam. Andre, I think that water is boiling now. Andre? Okay. But I have the same color hue, like I said, in the background of other videos to where I know Project Bluebeam was, I don't know if it was just directly over my house and only my yard, or if it was within the neighborhood. All I know is when I was, after this was taken, and remember people, I know I'm jumping right into it, and that's the only way that these videos are going to roll. I haven't even gotten into exposure yet, but we need to tell, we need the introduction to what we're looking for in terms of when we find it, we'll know through exposure. Okay? So technically, before I start, well, it's not that I'm starting because I don't have no time to sit there and do videos with exposure from picture to picture to picture. I'm only doing this stuff on the fly as fast as I can. But if I'm going to do it, which might take, hell, it could take months, people. The point is, it's tedious. My life is tedious. The things that I'm doing inside the house is tedious. Working on this kind of stuff is tedious, right? Tedious, you know, it's like nitty gritty stuff that takes a long time to get through, and if you don't do it, it never gets done, so you have to do it, and you don't really have a choice, so it kind of becomes annoying, and that's why it becomes tedious, because you can't wait for it to end, but it never seems to end. Well, okay, so with that said, I think before I get too far into those pictures of the drones, the fog, and Chimay, no justice, no peace here, right? I think I should talk about Project Bluebeam, show the evidence, which I'm showing you right now, copy and paste a few pictures, take it to exposure, right? And then go back to that little dog that morphed within seconds of frames, right? Take that to exposure. But the thing about the dog, and if you remembered the video, right, the one just before this one, I mentioned the tail. I said, look at the tail, because the tail was up, okay? So in this video, the creature was, it came in from over here. There it is. I think that's it right there, people. It was on a dog cage. If you look, you can kind of see it there, maybe, right? And it looked like it was sitting there, but the bloody thing got up, traveled through people, the chain link fence, landed down on the ground over here somewhere, and then kind of scooted off to this little wood thing that I was going to maybe make as a dog den for Sadie, my dog that I had at that time. Now you have to remember, this is 3 seconds within. How do you explain that? If you've got 60 seconds in 1 minute, right? How many seconds? No, it would be called something else. You've got the 1 minute, you've got the second, and then there's another frame that the camera operates on to build in the 1 second 60 times. And you can either do that at a 30 speed rate, which would be, I would think, 30 frames per second. So you'd go 30 times 60 in that situation and add on the zeros in terms of how many seconds within seconds of seconds and seconds. This was 3 seconds within one of those 30 frames that came in at 1 second. If that makes sense. Fuck. I don't have that program installed in the computer at this point, because in the past I went through a computer sweep and I'm pretty sure it was taken out and reformatted. So what, the computer itself, so the program's not in there. So I got to look for this program that I know that it can break it down from frame to frame to frame to frame and nothing but a frame. And then maybe I can walk you through it and show it to you that way. Otherwise, this isn't a full second. This is not full. This is not 1, 2, 3 full seconds. It's 3 seconds within the first second of a whole bunch more seconds involved before you even get to the second second. I slowed it down on my editor. I don't think I've ever taken it to exposure, but I'm going to now, because this is evidence just by the very color of it. Okay? It was in less than 3 seconds of a second. We'll just say it that way. Okay? Going backwards in time. The eye normally can't see it because it's just, you just don't see it, but because I had seen it a few times on the film, there were a few times I'd go out into my yard and my eyes would catch it, if that makes any sense, right? And I knew it was out there before I even got out the door because my eyes had already seen it a few times. So my brain associated the color, and that's exactly the color. It records exactly the way you see it if you can actually acknowledge that you've seen it outside of looking at it this way. So this is how I know they've done it more than once in my yard, and for whatever reason I'll never understand it other than Alright, so I need to take some still pictures, but what I'm going to do, this is just a very 30-second little bout here. So we're just going to listen to it. If I want to stop, I'll talk about it, and then I'll turn off the camera, and then I'll take a few pictures. And then when I start this exposure stuff, honestly, I should start with this one first, and then the little dog, okay? And I will be making note of the tail on both of these creatures, if you want to call them that, being that that little dog morphed into a outer space alien of sorts. I'm just saying, right? You know, its tail reminded me of what this thing, with its tail up, to which tells me something is being shot down at it, and the tail is the conductor to make it do whatever it does. Okay? If that makes sense. If I was to want to do something like what went through my fence, how would you do it? Well, you have to control it with something, don't you? So it'd be obviously a little beam of energy, but the thing is, it's I don't know, like, I contacted a paranormal group to ask them to analyze the video, because, like, am I looking at a ghost here? Because what goes through chain link fences? Like, seriously. And it didn't even look normal, right? In terms of whatever you were looking. Some people seen it as a horse, other people seen it as a bulldog or whatever, right? And it was less than 3 seconds of a second within 60 seconds. But don't forget, there's more than 3 seconds in a second. More like 30 frames or 60 frames within that 1 second. That's where you have to get these videos down to.
I'm just listening.
Oh, well, this is important.
I'm still making it.
Oh.
The door's not ready yet.
Okay. Is there anything else you want?
No, I'm just watching.
Oh, okay.
Curious.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, you should be, because this is the kind of stuff that goes through our yard sometimes.
Right.
But you can't let it scare you. Technology, the government with doing something to people. I don't know. This is not your neighborhood prankster, okay? This is something to do with the government. How deep into the government, and also obviously organized crime.
This is our house?
This is my backyard when I moved in. And I had to work out there. I have this on slow. Okay, let me stop. You're distracting me now. I don't see very well. There it is, right there. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm looking at. But I don't see very well right now, okay, people? Not like the good old days, you know? Now, what are we looking at here? Okay, here's the chain link fence. All right, this is with the chicken wire. Like, no, it's not chicken wire. Those size, right? They're about that size. All linked together, right? A post. You can see we put my son and I, we built this, right, to make for the dog, eh? Post he cemented, pallet for a door, right? Chain link fence, okay. So, all right, I'm pretty sure that's it right there. Now, keep in mind, and I mentioned this before, he's standing there still listening, eh? Somebody had come into my yard, I swear on my mother's life, I swear on the Bible, I swear on my grandmother's life, I swear on everything and anybody good, okay? I'm just saying. Somebody had come into my yard, and for whatever reason, this piece of wood ended up because I had this mud pit that was full of weeds, a drainage problem, mud, and morning glory started growing in spring right up until fall, and it would travel through this garbage shit yard that I moved into like 4 inches a night, 6 inches a night. Like, it was crazy. And this was going into my second year into this yard, right? You know, I have a family, right? I moved in with like 9 people in this house, as if I had a lot of time to do yard work. But besides that point, I tried to figure it out, so I decided I was going to have a fire pit. So I started collecting a whole bunch of rocks from the neighborhood as the old houses, well, I wouldn't necessarily call them old, but as the houses were being torn down, you know, then I'd go in or wherever, like those kind of places, right? And I'd pick up rocks to start building in a fire pit. Okay?
Which came out really nice.
Yeah. Well, it's not full of rocks. It's either or. That's how it started, right? Okay. So one day, whatever. Somebody came into the yard. They put this piece of wood. I don't know where the hell they found it, but I guess it was in the yard. And they put it in the center of my whatever I was trying to do there. And it looks, to me, it looks like a pig's head.
It does.
It does. It looks like a pig's head.
From an angle, it does.
Well, it was like it was put there so that I would see it. Because it's psychological warfare. It's not just Project Bluebeam over your house. It's the gang stalkers in the fucking neighborhood who like to creep your yard. I'm just saying. All right? Now, who's doing that? It's not your neighborhood prankster, unless, of course, they're employed by a government agency. As to what type of government agency? Well, I'm pretty sure the municipality knows about it. And if the province is willing to cover up murder, illegal organ harvesting, and all this other nonsense, medical kidnapping of the elderly so their assets could be wrongfully hijacked and robbed at needlepoint, right? You know what I'm saying? Pen. So all they needed was a signature under duress, and they got it. And the government covered it up. And then they took Uncle John and they put him in an old folks home and left him there alone to die by himself. Without his family. The one that's still fighting for him. Okay. So, 3 seconds within a second out of 60 seconds. But we haven't determined how many seconds, because you can't call them seconds, that are in a second. There's something else. So we'll call them frames. So you either got 30 frames in 1 second, and you only get to see 3, or, depending on the camera, it could be a 60 speed for frames, where you've got 60 frames within that 1 second, but you only seen 3. That's how fast this goes, and I can't stress it enough.
What ghost? My question.
Well, it's people who deal with ghosts said it wasn't a ghost. They said it was a 3D image. And just with the fact that there is technology called Project Bluebeam, it would be practical to be looking at it in this way if it was being used against the public. And in this situation, I think they have done it around my yard because it's easy peasy for them to get away with it. And, you know, I don't know if the pig's head piece of wood here was a conductor to help. Something had to make this thing move. Thank you. Okay? Something had to make this thing move. It has its tail up. It looks kind of like that little white dog with that other thing that morphed. It had its tail up. Okay? I'm just saying, because these things, they kind of morph as they go. Right? But is the pig's head, being that it's pointing this way, is it giving off some sort of a conductor, or is it coming from the sky? I'm assuming more from the sky because its tail is up, and it's you'll notice it, right? Hopefully, and if not, I will find the picture and I will paint and whatever, and we'll expand it and we'll take it to exposure, because you know, people are in denial that this stuff is going on. Like, seriously. They're clueless, you know. They believe almost everything that they hear and practically nothing that they see, unless, of course, they want to twist the truth to suit whatever agenda they've got, right? You know what I'm saying? And, or they're just stubborn. Who knows? Okay, so let's get on with it. Where am I? And for some reason, okay, I'll talk about that later. All right, so where are we looking at? Because I can't see it right now, people, because we know my situation. Yeah, no, there it is. It's right there. It jumps off. Nah. See, these glasses are no good. I can't see this. And also, too, YouTube has blurred it. I can tell already. Yeah, they like to do that shit.
Or it could be also because you're in slow-mo.
No. Where is it? I can't even see it right now. Honestly, I can't even see it.
I think I see it.
I don't see it.
Top left.
Right here.
No.
It goes through the chain link fence.
No. No, I'm looking at something else.
Yeah, you're looking at something else. Just let's pay attention to this for a minute, people. YouTube has blurred this. They have blurred this, people. Oh yeah, big time. There was one video I couldn't get a hold of. It said it was hidden in my playlist. Okay, so I'm coming out now. I'm coming out the balcony door. The dog is barking because clearly the dog can see the hue and can sense something or see something, right? And I just talking and I whip my camera so fast and I keep going down the stairs. I get into the garage, and when I get into the garage and I look outside, the same hue was there. So you can factor in a few seconds that whatever this was there longer for the 3 seconds that within a second, 3 frames. We'll just say 3 frames within a second, okay? Because it takes some time to go down the stairs and then look right, and then look out the garage door, and the same hue was there. So this phenomenon of being, I don't know, how are they projecting it? Where, like, right, like to have such a circumference, whether it's a full yard or a full block, right? Because I'm assuming it was in my whole yard. Because if I could see it through the, it's in the film itself, I can bring it down to those seconds within seconds of frames upon frames. But I can't see how they can make it just isolated to one yard. Right? Okay. So panning, right? It comes in here, but YouTube has blurred the video. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, and also you have that pause that are big.
No, Andre. YouTube has blurred the video. Okay, I've done this, I've seen these videos just like they mute my videos. Just like they shadow ban my videos. Just like they make it hard for people to find my videos. What shells here? Bugging me. Okay. Maybe if I try a different pair of glasses. So I guess this video is gonna be as is or something, because I don't know. Oh God, that's worse. And then it becomes a game, trying to figure out what pair works.
Because you lost your other pair.
They were starting to go bad on me. Yeah, no, I can't see shit with those. Okay, we just have to work with what we got. I'd have to go find that video, the original. Oh yeah, I think so. YouTube's blurred it. They do that. Very blurry. Okay. Yeah, that you can barely see it, people. They've blurred it out completely. I'm blind, but I'm not that freaking blind. That's it right there. They've blurred it out big time. Yeah. You can tell it's been blurred out. Look at it. That's supposed to be a chain link fence. Does that look like a chain link fence to you? No. Something's been done something to this video. That's bullcrap. That's what I don't like about YouTube.
Can I ask you a question here?
What?
What is it that?
Oh, that's what I'm looking for. Sorry, my grandson's seen it all along. No wonder why I couldn't see it. Fuck, I'm looking down there. Okay, well, all right, people, you come on. You know, I was struggling with my eyesight here, and he actually got it. He actually got it perfect. That's exactly what I want. Do you see how fake that looks?
No, it's not a ghost because the ghost you would see through it.
Pardon me?
It's not a ghost because the ghost you can see through, basically. What's up with the shadow figure?
Well, they said it was 3D. It was a 3D image versus a ghost.
Okay, honestly, what it looks like a little man. It looks like a man riding a horse.
Well, it looks like, yeah, exactly, because that could be the tail. Remember on the other video, I'm talking about that dog with his weird tail, and then it comes and it starts to morph into something that came out from outer space. Well, it's the same idea here, people. You know, is it a conductor? Is this why, you know, because it's like, right? What produces the image? How do they get the image from wherever they start from to where they want it? Okay? Well, there's got to be, you know, an invisible cable, I suppose, if you want to say that, because, you know, like, do they have that kind of technology where they can send energy in a straight line from point A to point B without it being encased in anything? Otherwise, it would be visible, right? Well, I'm not sure how Wi-Fi works, but either or, yeah. So that's what we're looking at. That's what we were supposed to be looking at. So here, let me bring it back. I'm sorry.
I wonder what that was.
Well, I couldn't see it because I can't see that. Well, you know that on it. Tell me when it comes into frame. So it's over. It comes up over here. Okay. So here is the right. There's a post here. Right. It can't go through here. This is a chain link fence. There's no way any kind of animal outside of maybe a squirrel can get through it. I suppose, huh? Or a rat. Yeah. You know, raccoons can get pretty small, about the size of a baseball. I think they can crawl into because they like to live in the hollows of trees. But yeah, there's not too many other things that can go through it. Okay, so I'm just lining it up. All right, let's just line it up. All right. It jumps off the where's the dog cage?
A little bit to your right.
Over here, right there. No.
No. Is it like a cage?
Yeah, it's a cage.
With a little thing on it?
What's it? It came from the dog cage. Yeah. Oh, see, I can't see. I can't even see my finger. Right here?
Yeah. That's where you were pointing at earlier, at the cage. It looks like a cage.
It comes in off the cage. It just comes all of a sudden, and then it goes through the fence because it's high. That chain link fence goes all the way up here, people. This thing comes over here and goes through the fence. Okay? We just not seeing it yet because I do believe this video has been blurred to one degree or another, but besides that point. All right. Tell me when it comes into frame.
Yep.
All right.
Right now.
Okay.
Okay, is it? There's that thing flying.
Yes, but we should see it before then.
Yeah, you do.
Where was it?
Okay, so you want to go back like a tiny bit.
I know.
Just press this.
Okay, you do that.
Okay.
Where is it? I don't even see it.
Have the mouse for a second. So just need to get timed perfectly. Right there.
Where? I don't see it. Show me with your finger.
Right up there.
That?
Yep. And then. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I know. Okay. Okay, stop.
Right there.
Okay,
It is
stop.
fine.
All right, so I am going to photo and copy this, okay? There's something wrong with this video, man, I'm telling you.
It is blurred.
No, well, maybe I zoomed in on this one, people. Maybe that's what it is, because I was trying to zoom in on this thing. So I'm going to copy and paste this picture. And I don't know. I've got this video, the original, on one of my hard drives around the house. I'm going to have to find it, because YouTube, I do believe has done something. But besides that point, so do you see what's going on here? What kind of animal do you think that is? And if you look, does that look like that thing is still up like that?
Yeah, it is. It's still like that. It looks like just riding a horse.
Yeah, some people said it's a horse, but it has kind of a body of a bulldog as well, right? Yeah, they look
Except for the one.
like like a pit bull or a bulldog or something, right? Okay, so let me stop and do this. Hold on. Okay, so I'm back. All right, so we'll just continue. I asked Andre to stay because he can see faster than me, right? Here. Now, keep in mind, the fence is all the way up here. Chain link, all the way down. Whatever this is, goes through the chain link fence, no prob. And if you notice, do you see that? Okay, that's another good picture I should take, Andre. I don't got time to come back and do this. Hold on a minute. Okay, and I'll look for the. I think I took pictures before, but I just never had a chance to take it to exposure. But I am definitely going to do that. As soon as I sit down and start doing exposure, I'm bringing this to the surface right off the hop, and then we're going to build around this, because this is a fact. Okay, there's no photoshopping, no agenda other than like Andre's getting scared, and I'm trying to tell him
I'm
no.
not scared.
Well, you said you were scared.
No, I never said I was scared. I get scary-ish.
It's scary-ish. Okay, well anyway, I gave him a pep talk. I told him it's better that he knew about it, because it's his generation that has to deal with it more than my generation, because it was my generation that was able to document it and prove it so that the next generation could do something about it, because at the rate that I'm going, nothing's changing it. Because it's happened more than once in my yard, and if it happened once, more than once, it's going to keep happening. To what scope it's happening, from yard to yard, from house to house, from block to block, from community, I don't know. I don't know the depth of the beam in terms of, well, you would think that they would coordinate it, right? They put their coordinates in. Well, it goes from this point to this point, right? Like I said with my landlords, they took me out to the front, put me in a spot where I've got document energy weapons, where the thing comes up right exactly in the path of where I was standing. They have to have their conductors. Or if it's not a conductor, then it's psychological warfare, because it becomes psychological warfare when they actually come into your yard to mess with your psyche. This is unscrupulous, what's happening here. It's like a person with no morals coming, right? But I would say this thing, whatever it is being controlled by this. Not so much by this. Although this could, just for the very fact, if you look at it, where am I? Where's my finger? Oh my God. Okay. It's my eyes. Okay, here we go. Ready? Straight line. Do you see that? Pretty straight line. I'd say it's pretty freaking spot on. Oh, where are you? I missed.
You're way off.
Okay, do it again. There we go. Ready? Here. Let's make it easy. Give me something. Let's make it a little more easier than that.
Give you something.
Ready? Is this long enough? No, hold on. Okay. There you go. There's your creature. At the end of the paper, follow the line. Spot on, don't you think? I think so. Don't forget, I used to be a seamstress, right? I could look at a girl, go home, make an outfit, and it would fit her perfect. All right? In terms of size. That is spot on. I could spot something out 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch, a mile away. And that's with good eyesight. You can't get any straighter than that. So, that could be a conductor, but I don't think it's the only conductor. Because, see, wandering eye. Because of this thing. Because when it goes through the fence and it's down on the ground over here, it scoots off as if it's running all of a sudden. Here it's flying, and then it ends up on the ground, and then it runs off and it disappears, right? There is this, but it's more, I think, towards the end to make it look like a tail, which tells me it's a conductor, but I don't think it's the only conductor because of what I just showed you in terms of that line, right? Whew, okay. Now, I do believe that cell phones, whether they all have it or not, I don't know, but I do believe that cell phones have a filter on them. A filter on their screens, some kind of a filter to prevent the camera from capturing what I'm showing you, okay? This was done on a very old camcorder, okay? The film itself was like, I think it was in December of 2011. I was working in the yard, okay? So 11 years back, and I can't remember if it was my ex camcorder or if it was my the other one that I bought for when I was working with the kids and I let them use that. Either or, they were old cameras. And clearly it didn't have a filter on it. Okay. Now, do you see? There's the bottom of the chain link fence. There's the top of the chain link fence. That thing only got up to here, and then it started to drop. Where is it?
Yeah.
Right. It still has its... whatever that is.
Sure, the camera's on it.
Yeah, I know. I had to make sure the mouse was where I needed it to be. I'm a little bit of a contortionist. Do you see how now the tail kind of starts to go like that? You can see it, right? And then it, yeah, this has been blurred. I'm kind of mad at my family right now because everybody thinks this is all my mess. Hello, YouTube! Okay, so I don't know why one unavailable video is hidden. Okay, now it looks like I've already done a video on this, discussing everything that I'm discussing here. Here's even a better picture. Alright, but why is one unavailable? That's what I want to know. Like, how do I fix that? I never made it unavailable. Hold on a minute. Okay, people, so I'm annoyed here because for whatever reason, one video in this playlist, where am I? Energy Weapon or Ghost. There's only 9 videos in there. For whatever reason, one has been hidden because apparently it's private, but I can't determine which video it is. And out of the 9 videos that are in this playlist, they all belong to me. Okay? And I don't put my shit on private, people. I blast it. Because this is my children's, my grandchildren's, and hopefully great-grandchildren, although I'll never be able to see them because I don't think I'll live that long, have a future. I'm not the one running the scam. I'm not the one committing a crime. I'm not the one trampling all over human rights. Right? I don't plot and scheme to hurt people. I don't conspire to get rich while I hurt people. All right? I have nothing to gain from this other than justice. And maybe a flicker of hope. Okay? So why the hell would I put one on private? I wouldn't. Now, I suppose I wanted to build on this, but that's a very hard subject to prove. And that's why they do it. Because they know it's hard to prove, especially in court when you're up against a crooked judge. All right. I'm assuming that the video that's missing from here was also posted here. Because I'm still trying to figure out how to sort out my playlist. Right? You know? Like, for example, the medical kidnapping of Uncle John. 39 videos. And I got videos in there where all you might hear is me either talking about Uncle John, or maybe you'll hear him saying something in the background. The point is, he's around. Or maybe you might even see him. Right? Versus 1 or 2 videos to say exactly what happened to him, as if anybody would believe that he had a family of over 35 years that he invested 35 years into, and then all of a sudden he woke up one day and it was like we were thrown into the freaking trash can and we didn't exist. And through their psychological warfare, as a matter of fact, there is Uncle John right there telling me to fight the healthcare system so that they couldn't illegally detain him because he wanted to come home. And the social workers at that time, when he was talking to me in this particular video, were already starting to screw around, and he knew it. And he told me to fight. I have it on recording. I have this conversation on recording, people. Well, this is what this is. Okay? So I'm not going to hide videos. I'm not going to hide the truth. That's the point. So let's go into this one with the 2 and see if that hidden video comes up. Let's just see. Let me stop this for a minute. Yeah. See? One unavailable video is hidden. I didn't do that, people. Somebody did that through YouTube. Okay? So, being that I just did a fog video from 2011, was it? Or 2010? October of 2010. I have to go back into my videos as far back as there, because I'm going to see if I can maybe, just maybe, locate the video where I'm on the highway off to the side because of the fog that rolled in as I was going to Crescent Beach at about 4 o'clock in the morning with my kids to catch the tide out. And I got caught up in a really deep fog. Right? So I had to pull off the road. I'm assuming I would have brought my camera with me So I'm assuming that I took a video, but it doesn't like really stand out in my mind, right? Because obviously if I'm doing videos and I'm going to the beach at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm talking about it. It's not like I'm not going to be bringing my freaking camera. Of course I am. So I'm probably sitting in a car talking about the fog. The only thing is, I don't know if I put the word fog into the video, so maybe I won't remember the title. Go figure. And the only reason I was going to the beach in those days was because of what happened basically at with the BP oil spill, right? Unless it had something to do with Fukushima radiation in 2011, when Japan had that, meltdown with their TEPCO shit, and reactors and whatever, right? I mean, like, I know I got pre-Fukushima ocean water sitting in the X Club till this day in the original containers that they were collected. And if you were to go in there and test them with a lab for any kind of radiation compared to what radiation is in the water today, because those reactors are still leaking, right? Not to mention that they let out all the water that they collected and let it go out into the ocean. You'd have a good comparison, because there was no Fukushima radiation in 2010 in October. So anyway, I have to go back into the videos, look for that fog video, and while I'm there, I should be able, well, you see, though, I don't know when I made this. Well, hold on a minute. 13 years ago. So yeah, 2000, because they don't, I'd have to go 13 years back into my videos to find, because these are probably back to back. So I don't know if it will tell me if it will be private or not, because I never put my stuff on private ever, people. So they're only letting us see the one for whatever reason. And I would not have posted a second video if it wasn't playing when I posted it. Somebody came in after the fact and took it out. Right. So I have to go find it, and I think you can remove that. So I'll work on that. Other than that, in this playlist, not this playlist, in the other one, I already did a video for 17 minutes. So maybe what I should do with one video hidden for whatever reason. Okay, so here, let me stop this. Where do you see? I can't even see it. There it is. Right? Do you see? So if it's walking like a dog, but can fly through a chain link fence, what is it? Right? And then, with that all said, we're going to go into my more recent video, which I just uploaded, Old Fog, New Fog. And here, right off the hop, I thought I should mention that dog in the fog that morphed right in front of our eyes at 3/4 of the frames of a second that YouTube allows you to see, assuming that you'd even care to see it that way. Because if you don't want to take the time to see it that way, you'll never see it. And that's the point. You have to care, right? You got to be able to take the time to be able to see exactly what it is that's being put in front of your face, whether you like it or not. Because at least once you know, well, you know what they say, knowledge is power. So I think this little dog with its funny little tail is going to manifest itself here in a second. Try not to bring the camera too close because the pixels get messed up. And look at the color. Just now, I was thinking about that. Flashlights have different light spectrums. Okay, granted. Most of them are LED designed. And we know that they can get lots of different kinds of light spectrums with LED, right? So that could be a reason why it looks like this, because when I did my little flashlight thing outside on my porch, I didn't get this. But then my flashlight was maybe designed differently or something. That's the only thing I can think of, other than if I was to look at the color, I'd be suspicious, especially if you're going to see something start morphing. And that's why I showed you that thing, that 3D image, if you want to call it that, in my yard in 2011 in December. And that was just one form of energy weapon. Because it's a weapon, right? What else is it? If it's not friendly. You can't call that to be friendly. When somebody's doing something like that behind your back, right in front of your face without you even realizing it. And you don't know what the health effects around it are long term, especially if you're being exposed to it on a regular basis. And like I said, I've seen it on multiple occasions in my yard through camera, not to mention what my eyes caught after I got used to the color. So, you know, maybe that's why there's something wrong with my eyes. Spent too much freaking time out in that yard getting fried 12 hours a day, 7 days a week for a good 10 months anyway when that whip was on my back. Let's not forget about that, right, people? There's the dog. Obviously, I'm agitated with the crap, right? Because, you know, it's not fair. It's not fair. We were taught as children that if you were a bad person, you'd go to jail. Right? We were taught as teenagers, if you commit a crime, you're going to juvie. We were taught as adults, if you commit a heinous crime, you're going to jail for life. Well, in the real world, very little of that ever really happens when it comes to people doing heinous crimes. Never mind going to court. Good luck trying to get them to go to jail. Okay, so here's this dog. Because this is a crime against humanity. You know, and right, in terms of Project Bluebeam, because I'm proving it to you people. There is no disputing it, okay? This video, well, I don't know. I'm suspicious about this video. If you want it, you have to look, I guess, as to where it came from. If the guy is some guy on TikTok or YouTube or whatever, doing videos on a regular basis, looking to get views, you know, dibble and dabble with clickbait, you know, is into AI and talking to chat bots and all this other crap, then yeah, maybe someone like that could do a fake video just for views. But I mean, if it's just some random Joe that put up a video once in a blue moon, well, it could be a joke. I mean, maybe because I don't think this is a real video. And if it is, I don't know. I mean, that thing that was in my yard, I didn't call it to come inside. This guy actually interacts with this dog, and this dog actually morphs over here. There's a difference. And because it morphs, it makes me think it's fake. Where I know mine isn't. And that's why the government keeps throwing out my shit when it gets to court, because they don't want to fucking deal with the heavy-duty deal of what they do as a collective. Yeah. And their partner groups. You know, that religious organization that becomes a religious criminal organization in partnership with a corrupt government to what? Stimulate the economy with a housing boom, with apartment blocks that nobody can afford to move in except for the fucking immigrants that are being supported by federal, municipal, and provincial governments. Like, come on, people. If you want to magnify it, it's better to put a magnifying glass of sorts on your computer screen and get... Well, I managed to wipe it down, but I don't have time to look for magnifying glasses, but I will. Closer with it that way, so it doesn't mess with the pixels on your camcorder. Okay, currently we don't see a tail. There's nothing there, from what I can tell, as it's recording. But I don't have my magnifying glasses anywhere handy. Okay. Do you see it? Instead of being straight up from there, it's coming in from here. That's a pretty straight line, don't you think, people? Remember that line from that pig head all the way to the bottom of the feet of that thing that was flying through a chain link fence? Well, it's the same kind of line. It's going... What is on there? Paint, see, I take my shit serious. Do you see that? Paint pick properties. I had to adjust my my pixels and stuff. Oh, I hate it. I don't like thinking like that, like in terms of having to strain my brain to remember how those things work. But do you see how nice and straight that is? Look at that. So you take that. Okay, that's a nice straight cut. You can't get any straighter than that. And you just follow the line to the end point from wherever it's coming from. Okay? Okay? It's an awful long tail for a little dog. Look how straight that is. And do you see how it kind of just... It's kind... If I get too close with the camera, the pixels get all weirded out, right? We know that. But do you see? And then here it just kind of... So this is a picture that you'd want to save. Take it to your program. Enlarge it. Or you can save the picture. You can crop it. Then you can enlarge it. And then you would take it to exposure or to a magnifying glass. Because you definitely see what's going on here, and you're going to see that this is going to be, there's not going to be no real fine, you know how dog's hair comes to a point, like a spearhead? I don't see a spearhead, and I'm blind. I see static electricity molecules coming together in terms of a light ray that's more condensed, if that makes sense. But then I could just be spooked out with the heebie-jeebies with my spidey senses going here, because if you know, I've got proof that Project Bluebeam does exist. So it wouldn't surprise me if this wasn't it, because you got that hue. That right there is a red flag. And then you've got the conductor, right? And we already figured out how that's being done. I mean, if I come in closer, and you have to admit, the creature that went through my fence kind of looked like a little bit like a bulldog, right? You know, with its chubby little legs and shit, right? Or a little pit bull or something like that. Only it morphed into a horse. Because I've had people view that video. I don't know if there's comments on it anymore, or maybe it was the video that was removed, who knows, like put on private. They called it a horse too. Even looked like a spider. Maybe that much. Look how long this tail is. Do you see? And it's almost like it wants to keep on going. Right? Right? Look at that. In comparison to the dog, I don't know about that, people. It's too straight. And if you look here, look how it's, I know the camera doesn't like it when I bring it right up to the screen. But look, you can see. Oh, I know, because it's moving. Well, no, it's not moving its tail, though, too much, because it's too straight for it to be moving. And another thing I want you to notice is its tail, which is actually very unusual. Okay? It's like very long. And then you got that, whatever he did, where the frame changed. So, if you notice the color now, do you see now the blue? I don't see it. But clearly something changed. Whatever, you know, they made it right. They made it look like he went like this and right. But here, let's look at the dog. It doesn't, to me it looks like a stuffed animal more than a dog. Like the body of a dog. Even a chubby dog. It's too plush. And then look at the tail. Do you see? And it fades off. You could almost say that it's a cross of a squirrel. I don't know. Doesn't look normal, though.
Get over here.
And did you see now? Did you see how fast that changed? Why? From gray, browny, whatever color that was, to getting into your blues.
Right
Look at the tail.
now.
And so what kind of dog is that? Look at his tail. So whatever hair it has, I don't know. Look at its foot. Telling you, it kind of looks like that thing. Yeah, because it kind of looks like that little bulldog that went through my fence if it wasn't a horse. Or it could have been a spider. I've had people call it a spider, for crying out loud. Flew through my fence. Said it was a spider on my lens. That was no spider on my lens, people. Like a bull-legged bulldog of sorts. Drinking coffee. Now it's starting to morph. Okay? Tail is still unusual. It's gotten bigger. You can see what's happening here. It's ready to change shape. Okay, it's going to morph. All right. And don't forget, we don't get all the frames with its tail up in the air as a conductor.
Yeah.
See, this is why I showed you what I documented. So that you'd understand why I'm saying what I'm saying. If you were doubting what I was saying was true. Or even feasible for that matter. Okay, look at it now. Did you, whatever frames that YouTube removed made it so that you couldn't see that happen. But because it happened so fast, it'd be back to back, but it would happen so fast within those probably 60 frames within a second. Yeah, because it's higher technology now, right? People go for that HD stuff with the higher frame rate. And it's almost like it. Look at this. Do you see? There's your parallel line again. Isn't that what it's called? Parallel line, straight line? Parallel are two lines together, I think, right? 1, 2. And they keep going in the same direction. My God, I need to start getting refreshed on that stuff so I don't sound stupid. And then, yeah, okay, so we managed to get it right here as is. So I'm glad I came back to this. If you look, I'm not even going to move it right now. Here's the whole dog. All right. There's its mouth. Where is it? Where's my finger? Right there. Look how straight it is. If I was to take this particular picture to, I think I have to wash this still a bit more. Have you ever seen a dog with a snout like that? Then it just morphs. No, I'm pretty sure I saved it. It looks like you're gonna, because I moved in so close, some of this stuff is gonna be more than likely maybe from my camera, although maybe not though, because I see something here, right? Do you see? Like scales or something. It's like, looks like scales. I don't know if my camera is doing that. Perhaps. That's where you gotta be careful about coming in too close with your lens onto a screen, because the pixels jump back at you. But if you put a magnifying glass on your screen, it allows you to come in a little closer without that, whatever happens there. Not all the time, but you're more successful to get in closer to record into some more detail kind of creature. Either or, I brought it to paint. Okay, I'm pretty sure I've got that on paint. Okay, I got a different cord so that when I'm in the kitchen I can plug it in without the battery kicking out all the time, because this cord is plugged in over here and I don't like to disconnect. So I just found an old cord from an old camcorder, and I was just going to try that. Hopefully it won't blow out my camera, right? So I thought it was plugged in, but yeah, it was plugged into a different cord that wasn't even in the outlet yet. Okay. So if you copy and paste the video, let me think here. Yeah, I've already converted this over. So some of this stuff that we're seeing in here could be, but I don't know. They're very long and uniformed. You know, I don't know if you can see it, but exposure would bring it out. So we'll just, when I'm doing the video, yeah, and then it just jumps, right? When I'm doing the video of taking it to exposure, we'll talk more about it then. So, here, energy weapon ghost. Alright, so we've got one on private, for whatever reason. It's not even showing, it's not, because I zoomed in on it. That's, I think, maybe why, people. I don't know. I will go look for that video. Because that's some shady shit. It's not even there. Yeah. Okay. So we got the one that works and one that doesn't. This is the original video. Fukushima, Life on the Fly, number 11. Marek Speaks, December 24th. Yes. It was right before Christmas. Yep. This would have been on the 23rd. More than likely. Or maybe even that day. I don't know. Right? I just back to back with the videos when I was, okay, 2011. What you see here is in this video where you don't see it because it happens so fast. And because I've mentioned it, you might be able to see the color of the garage or even the bit of the blue as I'm coming out and pan my camera and go, but you're not going to see this creature because it just happened way too freaking fast. Okay. And all that, everything happened was like under 3 or 4 seconds. Within a minute. Like, you don't even know how fast this shit goes. So that's where this video, it comes from in here, from this recording. Energy Weapon, Project Bluebeam. I took it, oh wow, I did a 47 and 50 minute video on it already. And I did that video in 2020. Because, you know, I zoomed in. I have a little pointer. I'm talking about it. So I should include this video into this video. And this video into this playlist. Ghost 4. This is where, that's a raccoon, because I've always had raccoons in my yard, right? An energy weapon, like a little bullet. The camera actually picks it up being fired. You can hear it in the camera. And I was standing at the top of my stairs, and the raccoon was at the bottom of the stairs, further towards the fence, so it was a fair amount of distance. And whatever was shot, as I was talking, the camera actually picked it up, because you can hear it. And you see this little misty bullet-looking like thing fly by the freaking raccoon. And even the raccoon looked, because the raccoon heard it too, right? And then the thing flew by. And it took a minute, or like a second or whatever, for the raccoon to notice it. And even then. So, that's another form of energy weapon. Okay, I'm just saying. Ghost government technology. This is it must have been methane. Methane from worms. I think so. I think in this video, because I wanted to know where the hell this, what is it called? Little bullet energy weapon came from. So in the video, I went further, deeper into the scenery of the video, towards the tree, in the direction the thing came from, zoomed in, and tried to isolate the source, the A point, the beginning point where that thing was shot from. Because clearly the camera picked it up, the raccoon heard it, the camera heard it, I didn't hear it, but I heard it after the fact with the camera. And you can clearly see it visually, right? No disputing it. So I'd be zooming in, panning, or whatever I was trying to do, because I'm not very good with these editors, because I don't do them all the time, right? So I struggle with them. But I did the best that I could, panned in, did whatever, and I noticed that there was like little white mists coming up. Where am I? Coming up through the ground, right? And then at one point, I even seen a kind of like a Alice in Wonderland rabbit, right? In terms of, I guess my mind was playing trickery with me at that time. Just, you know, if you want to see something, you'll see it. Not that I wanted to see a Mad Hatter rabbit, but, you know, it kind of looked like that to me. And I think in this video I actually talk about it, but I'm also showing that, you know, there's little white mists coming out, right? Because, like, where the hell did this energy bullet come from? Well, maybe it was shot from something like that. But if you wanted to rationalize white mists, you know, smoky little mist, well, if there's methane in the ocean coming up from the bottom of the ocean, you know how they say, right? I would assume that there's methane of sorts, some sort of a gas that's like a methane, or maybe not a methane, but some off gas of something from organic matter, you know, in your yard, decomposing with worms and all this other crap, right? Plants or whatever. It's releasing something, and the camera can pick it up if you go looking for it. And that would be like scientific rationalization. But not enough to shoot an energy bullet, though, people. So this one's still up for debate. Now this one, I'm going to end it on this, okay? Because, you know, these videos get long. This one was in 2012, if you notice, 12 years ago. Right? This is all in my yard. No wonder why I'm blind. Don't be surprised. When my landlord came with her son, and they started it on me with the bins, get out, or give us $3,500 a month, I'm taking advantage of the landlord all of a sudden, out of the blue, after I gave up my life for them in this yard, even though it was never, not once, my responsibility. I spent a lot of time out there, people, because if I didn't, I wouldn't have had a house to live in. That's kind of what happened. Right? And it was used against me, and that's why it became a whip on my back, even to this day. All right. This was in 2012. I had a problem with morning glory and weeds. So I was going nuts, making compost beds of dirt, because it didn't have a lot of dirt, but had a lot of weeds. Had a half a yard of sand and gravel rocks, like we're talking big or small or real small, and a whole bunch of sand. I guess they were going to put a driveway in or something, but they didn't put no driveway in. No, it was to make the tenant frustrated so they could, you know, they'd move, and then they could just jack up the rent and start all over again. All right, that's not what we're talking about. So anyway, this is where I was standing facing this way, talking, and I think they called it energy weapon, the Stingray or something like that. And what it does is they have it mounted on something like a truck or something. They have it mounted. It kind of looks like a machine gun or something like that, but it has to reflect back. So in this video, when you're looking at the house, you will see a square that's being with the sun reflecting and pushing back on it, right? So right? And in front of this is a pile of buckets, tarps, that kind of crap, right? Because, you know, like I said, I was working in the yard. And there was a black bucket. Whatever came up behind me, scooted past me, went through the black bucket. You can see it actually go through the black bucket, right? turn the corner, hide itself underneath the tarps, and then eventually, well, it was seconds within seconds of seconds and seconds, all that crap, right? And then it got into the grass, and it did one of these things like a snake, and scooted off. Plain as day. You can't miss it if you bring it down to those frame rates, right? And needless to say, that's exactly where my landlords put me on that day when they were fucking terrorizing me about more rent. Out of the blue, out of nowhere, through that psychological warfare and gaslighting and all that other crap to keep people oppressed, so that some can prosper while the rest falter. I don't know how to say it any other way. That's what that is about. 2 videos. There's the bucket. There's the bucket. That thing came up behind me, got it, went right through the bucket, turned, stayed for a split second of a second to a second, and then you could see it going through the fucking grass. These are real, people. Do I even have 9 here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And then this one, and then don't forget we've got the one that went over Julian Johnson's shoulder, which I should actually add in here when I find them. That was recorded with Shimei's cell phone. So cell phones can pick them up, right? But again, you have to bring them down frame by frame within frames, within those minutes and seconds and all that other crap. Otherwise, you won't see them. And that one went right over Julian's shoulder, faster than obviously the speed of light, because the eyes couldn't see it. Camera did, though. As he was raging, accusing Shimei of her drugging him because he was having a psychotic moment of sorts. And that thing just happened to fly right over his shoulders. That's another documented energy weapon that's been inside my house. Then one time I was sitting here at my desk, did a recording, and at that time I was using my other editing program, and I noticed this big orb go right by my face and just floated on by. I recorded, I tried to do a video on it, but YouTube kind of blurred that video out, so it was really hard to see. So maybe when I come across that video, I will make sure I'll go out of my way to put exposure on that one, because exposure would definitely bring out that orb. And then there would be no fucking disputing it, no matter how much YouTube wants to either put shit on private, or freaking blur shit out, or fucking delete shit, or fucking whatever fucking YouTube staff does. You see, I fight against evil. YouTube and their staff and their fucking CEOs don't. That is the difference. And then this one, YouTube let me keep up this video, but they took down the original video because they're too busy promoting the artist, so all the traffic can go over there, and to hell with everybody else. Anyway, my unicorn drops just at a certain point within the song, in such a way, looking you straight in the eye, as I'm trying to do positive community activism for all the right reasons. Kind of made me wonder if someone else was with me in good spirit. I'm just saying. Okay, people, I don't understand this. Like, I don't know. Something's wrong. Like, what the hell is... Oh, wait a minute. No, sorry. Breathe, Judy. Still, if this is the second video, I'm going to upload the other one, okay? January 5th of 2025, right? The only reason that I'm not numbering right now these videos is because I got up to like number 82 videos within the year 2024 or something like that. I don't know. And then YouTube started taking down videos. Remember that? So then I'd do videos and post them on BitChute, which technically should be part of my pages of my book that YouTube ripped out. So, you know, I have to concentrate to match up the numbers so that I can get back on track onto YouTube with the correct number, with being that some of my videos are up on BitChute that are not up on YouTube because of what YouTube's antics result in. And, right? And then have to write it in my description in my playlist to let people know that the missing numbers that are not on YouTube are on BitChute. I just haven't had time to do that, people. Like, come on. Okay. So, this is the playlist that I'm looking at. It doesn't matter. Whatever this video is, whatever it is not here because it's on private. So that means it has to be on this server, because if it's not on this server, it would say video has been removed. That's what I would think. But instead, they want you to remove it. Well, first of all, I'm not going to remove a video that I don't even know what it is, knowing what I know. All right. So I go back into... Where am I? Oh my Lord. I know I had it. 2011. Okay? I go, because I'm looking for this video that's been put on private. If you notice, there's only the one. Okay? It's just the one. There's nothing else here. This is the original video that I got this video from. I'm pretty sure. Or it was this video. It was either or. It's in the description box. Where the video that's hidden is, I don't know. I'd have to go, I don't know. I don't know. Good luck finding it. And somebody did that with intent. Because I wouldn't have done that. No. Okay, so now I've opened up a playlist for year 2011. And I'm only on January, so I got a long way to go. But I'm going to work through this year and get it up into a playlist. But, you know, as I'm sitting here thinking about this stuff, people, like, my yard was a do or die situation. If I didn't put the hours in that I did, I don't know. It was gross in terms of the amount of weeds and the morning glory that was on the property, not to mention the mud in the backyard with the drainage problem. I laid pipes with gravel rocks and everything to solve the drainage problem back there, right? Transplanted grass, took grass from other properties that were torn down and just going off to the wayside with garbage all over the place, and pulled that out and brought it over here in my car and tried to transplant it down. It grew for a long time, but you got to be out there constantly weeding it and or whatever, right? You know, I built a greenhouse and sheds and the wood pile and a freaking fire pit and just the whole 9 yards, right? I look back on it, and it was a do or die situation. It was impossible. You couldn't take a lawnmower to the backyard because there was no grass. It was mud, morning glory, weeds, and some of those weeds in the spring and summer were growing as tall as like 3 feet high, 4 feet high, and 2 feet high. And then, of course, you got the morning glory, front, back, left, right, center, everywhere. Every inch of the property was nothing but freaking morning glory. And that stuff was traveling through the dirt like 4 to 6 inches every night. And that's one root, not including 10,000 roots on the property. 50 bags of, those brown big paper bags, 50 of them, of just morning glory going out to the city. I mean, like, it was awful, people.
Glory in the living room.
Yeah, it was awful. And, like this energy weapon that I just showed you, this one here, that I'm now going through the video, I'm going to convert it and upload, right? That happened in December. Like I said, they like to do their psychological warfare in the winter. Now, if I wouldn't have recorded what I did at the time that I did and did what I did as I was converting over the video, I would never have seen it. So you got to stop and think about it, right? If you're being subjected to something that you can't see and it's being done without your knowledge, right? That is potentially dangerous. Because you can't tell me this is a good thing with this, what I'm doing, what I've seen, what I'm showing you. Where's the good in this? How does this benefit humanity? Right? I never gave my consent. I didn't move into this house to be a science experiment for some, what do they call that? Secret society, right? I'm not a guinea pig. I have human rights that fall under the Charter of Canada. And if I wouldn't have done the yard, I would have, they were using it against me, people. Oh, they were old. The yard was my responsibility. Okay. I never invested the amount of energy like I did in this yard, so I didn't know what I was up against. So what I'm trying to say is, what I thought would take me a week was taking me months. And it was on every inch of this property. As I was working in the back, the front was going crazy with the morning glory and the weeds and the sand and all that other crap. As I was working in the front, the back was going crazy with the mud and the grit and the weeds and the morning glory. Not to mention the raccoons and the raccoon shit and all that other crap. And then we had the sides of the house with nothing but morning glory and more weeds, basically. And I was in no position to pack up my family and move. And because I was inexperienced as to landscaping of any kind, really, outside of maybe a small garden, I didn't realize that what I thought would have taken me a year, 14 years later, I'm still not done. Let's just put it that way. You'd have to be outside 10 to 12 hours a day, 5 to 6, 7 days a week, just to be able to keep up with the yard. And that's why I've said over the years that I lived more in this yard than I did inside my house. And that's unfair as a tenant. But I was kind of set up for that, though. You see, that's the thing. And still to this day, the yard is being held against me. My landlady came January 1st, asked for more money. I said to my son, you deal with her because, it's a trigger for me, right? I'm always got to poo. That's what you're hearing. And I don't want to get angry. I'm already not feeling that great, you know. And so anyway, she agreed that we're going to pay $100 more on rent starting next month. It should have been $75 by legal rate, but 50 from him, 50 from me. It is what it is. And of course she brought up the yard, and that's exactly why I told my son, no, you need to talk to her, because she gaslights me all the fucking time. It doesn't matter, right? And I don't, you know, it's hard on me, people. And like, I'm not going to be doing food prep this year. I'm done. I'm going to get into the cooking and wearing my little sexy outfits just for a little fashion show so that I can promote whatever it is that I'm trying to sell this year. Who knows? Just for fun, just for laughs. Who freaking knows before I get too freaking old, right? Doesn't matter what I do. I just want to have a more of a relaxed life, although I don't think I'll ever get it in this house. No. But besides that point, my son said, oh, just, you know, be happy. I'm coming out. Don't worry. I'll be working in the yard this year. And if I can see, I'm going out and I'm going to try and finish what I started now. I'm giving Andre the option to finish putting in the big pond just for the fun of it. But, you know, we got these sickos running around in the neighborhood doing sicko shit, so who knows how long that will last, not to mention the raccoons getting into it and swimming and all this other stuff. But we might just do it for the fun of it, because I have everything that we need. I just lost my eyesight, and I look after a disabled child, and I'm tired. So, other than that, like, it's not fair. And then, because you're forced out there, because if I wouldn't have done it, I would have gotten evicted, because that was the tool to manipulate me and to control me and to take advantage of me. And because I fought hard to not let them break me and run me off, it's kind of hard for them to say I didn't put in 1,000% effort into doing something that I had no obligation to doing outside of, if I wouldn't have done it. So that just goes in part and parcel with the energy weapons that have gone through my yard or inside my house. It's not just a random act of Project Bluebeam popping in and popping out. No, there's an agenda behind it. And along comes the psychological warfare through the different techniques of gang stalking. Now, I have the evidence. I put it into my lawsuit at one point or another. I'm sure of it. This last one. And they blew it off like I was a conspiracy theorist or some zealot that was delusional, right? Because they refuse to look at the evidence, but yet they're hiding my videos illegally by putting them on private without my knowledge, if they're not freaking removing them on their whims to silence the truth that I bring to the table, that this shit, which is another form of gang stalking in my opinion, because it happened more than once. So that means more than likely we'll go out this year working in the yard just so that we don't get kicked out onto the streets as we're being asked to pay more money and still facing the same problems that we have in this house compared to, like, you know, when that freaking pipe in the back clogged and I had to get Alex to come at 6 o'clock in the morning in the dark and the pouring rain while my landlady's out in India in a parade. And he's snaking it out with my son. My son's bailing the water out into a freaking garbage can and rolling it up the driveway and emptying it out into the alley. And she doesn't even want to pay $100 to Alex for him for his time. She expected me to pay half. But I gave her all the rent, so she didn't even pay $50 fucking, but she's still asking for more money. And you know she knows about this, people. She owns like 5, 6 different properties. Of course she knows. That's why she and her son led me to that spot in the front where that other energy weapon that went through the grass after it went through the black bucket, it was right in the line of fire. Because this shit's hardwired. So it's unfair that I have to go out into this yard and face this right along with the rest of my family just so that we have a place to live. So if you were to file a lawsuit, who would you file it against? The landlord? Oh, they'd be calling you nuts. Oh, there's no illegal organ harvesting in the province of British Columbia, Canada. Why would the Punjabis want your organs? You're trash, remember? We're not interested in trashy organs. We want nice, fresh, pristine organs, not from trash. Yeah, well, one man's junk, trash, is another man's treasure. They straight up lie in your face, because there's only certain kind of people who can pay for that shit. And don't throw in me that you're the minority. No. It's more like my kind is the minority. We're the savages in the Planet of the Apes running away from you. Only we haven't quite fucking figured it out yet. And right? Or do you take it to your government? And what's the government gonna do? Bring in another Judge Ross? Tell you to, what? Go sue the doctor? Yeah, okay. As the doctor's falsifying your freaking medical records to say that you're fucking lunatic so they can lock you up? So they can silence you that way? Dope you up like Uncle John and call it a day? Huh? Yeah. This stuff's not funny, people. It ruins lives. It reduces you down to a cow with a tag in your ear, where it's just a matter of time before they call the number and take you to you know where. Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay, shit, I can't sleep. Okay, no, turn off the light. Do you see what's going on there, people? So, January 6th of 2025, 2:02 in the morning. Okay, clearly we have some fog. Andre says it smells like burnt wood.
Okay.
I don't myself personally really smell anything at this point.
I can.
Oh, wait, I just got a whiff of something. You're right. To me, it doesn't smell like wood. More like,
Burnt rubber?
I don't know.
It's a mixture of burnt rubber, diesel, and then burnt wood.
Yeah, it's a combination of different smells.
Well, it's not supposed to smell like nothing.
Okay, put on the flashlight and see what happens. Okay, let me zoom in. Move it to a different spot. Move it down here. Maybe you have to go right outside. Okay, put it like up in towards the sky. Oh, there we go. Oh, look, do you see it? Do you see it flying? Do you see it? I see it. Hold it. I think I seen something. Do you see little white specks flying around in the lens?
Yeah,
in the
it's
screen?
right here.
Where?
Right here.
There they are. Yeah, there they are, people. I see them too. Look, there we go.
Towards the...
Wait, I lost it. Andre, stop moving it. I don't see them now. Here they are. Just... Oh my god, stop. Just stay still. Where is it? Let me have it. I'll just bring it out.
Do you want to climb it that way?
No, there. Can you see it in the screen? Yeah. There it is. Do you see that, people? Oh my got it. They say it comes in early in the morning or late at night. It's 2:03, 2:04 in the morning, and it does kind of stink. It has, to me, it's not strong, but it's almost like a, I don't want to say a lemony offshoot of something. Can we go to a different spot, maybe? Okay, there it is. Stop. Looks like little bugs. Look at that, people. They're changing speed, too. Look at that, they're changing speed.
They're attracted to the light.
You think they're attracted to the light?
No, they are.
They are?
They're going to the light.
Andre
The
says,
vacuum. What?
Andre says they're going to the light.
Okay.
Look at that. Look at, oh, there's tons of them. If I bring them over here, Andre says they're attracted to the light.
They're going to the light.
They're going to the light. Oh my God, that's just too freaky. Okay, put the camera see. Bring it up a little higher.
Up on the satellite. Maybe.
Let's try a different light. We have to bring it where I can see it.
That didn't really work. Okay.
Okay, stop. No, down. There we go. Look at that. Wow. Well, we got it. Okay, so I'm back inside the house now. Now it's 2:11 a.m.
Actually, 2:14.
Well, mine says 2:13 now. My a.m. January 6th. So we got it. Now that could be what? Water particles on the verge of becoming sleet. But it seems kind of suspicious that it's rolling in at 2 o'clock in the morning. And there is a, for me, there is a slight smell, but it's more like a lemony, limey, like a cleaner, you know, like. But if you were to burn a certain type of wood, I could see why Andre would say it smells like wood for him.
Diesel in there.
Diesel? You're smelling diesel?
Diesel and rubber like mixture. We just want to like put diesel and rubber and just start burning it.
Well, how would you know what diesel and rubber smells like?
I smelled rubber and diesel before. Don't ask.
What's that supposed to mean? Oh, like down there in the alley?
Yeah. One time when they were working on the old folks home,
Old
they
folks
were
home?
burning rubber.
They were laying tar.
Yeah.
Tar.
It smelled terrible.
Okay, so he's associating it between petroleum products and burnt wood, where I'm associating it with a cleaning product that uses lime or a lemon as a fragrance to mask over maybe something else. Right? So, we'll take that to exposure. Anyway, let me just finish this and then get this converting over. So, you know, I don't know what I was saying before that all happened, other than there's your dog. Okay, take it for what it is, people. Okay, Andre and I, we came back outside because they're running a booze can next door. Anyway, we have to talk quiet. We don't want to wake up Arcane. He said that those little specks were attracted to the light. And I said, well, you know, what we need to do is get the... Okay, turn on the light and have it go in the opposite direction. So, let's switch sides. Let me go over here. Okay. No, I want you to stand here and have it going this way.
No.
Can we even see it? He said it was attracted to the light.
It is. It's still going towards it.
Oh, it's bouncing off the light, but I don't know if it's going towards the light. Hold it like... There. It's too bright.
I can turn down to slower. To go bottom.
No. What about like this, maybe? Is it on full?
No, no.
There we go. Okay, bring it up a little higher. No, we want it against the black backdrop. Oh my
You
god.
can see them.
I can't see nothing in my eyes. There we go. Okay, don't go up higher. Don't go up higher. Just there. Stay there. Well, there's definitely wind. You can feel it.
They really like the light.
Yeah, but they're everywhere, so it would look like that.
They're going up.
I can see that. They are going up. Where's the end of the flashlight? Right there. Make it more like this.
So I'll point right marking the window.
Who's that? Mickey already scared us inside the house. We go inside and things start crashing. The cats don't like it. Okay, now I don't see that.
Right in.
I don't see nothing there.
Nothing.
No.
So you can basically see it when you. Just point off this way. Can you see it? Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Just do a little bit like that. And then, yep, there you go. Right there, yep. Yeah, they go straight for it.
Okay. Okay, so we went back outside. Andre is convinced that these things are attracted to the light, but there is a bit of wind out there, and he said there was like the grass looked like it was, you know, frost on it, right? So I said, well, if that's the case, then what we're looking at could be sleet, which are little ice crystals getting ready to become maybe snow, right? So maybe it's a little more than just quote-unquote fog. So it's hard to say, but I am definitely going to take it to exposure.